audience tonight don't know we're watching them, but there are surprises in store for Dimitri. Separated from his sister 46 years ago, he's going to meet her once again. Sister Genevieve, she's the real-life heroine of a Hollywood movie drama. And on Super Bowl night, American football fan Jean Fuller scores her dream touchdown. For these people and more, it's Surprise, Surprise! Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cilla Black.
And hello and welcome to Surprise, Surprise, the show that brings the unexpected to the unsuspecting. And talking of surprises, I gave someone a surprise the other day, you know. Oh, I did. I was being interviewed for a magazine and I was asked, what would I like people to say about me in 100 years' time? And I said, I'd like them to say, doesn't she look good for her age? Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with this week's surprises. And sitting somewhere in our audience tonight is Dimitri. It's a Polish name. Dimitri is out there in our audience sitting with his lovely wife Lillian, and there they are. Would you like to come and join us, please? Come on, Dimitri. You're champion. Yes. Now, Dimitri, I said it was a Polish name because you are from Poland, aren't you?
No, not really.
Not really? Tell us where you're from. Small village?
Yes, correct.
Where?
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Polish Ukrainian.
Polish Ukrainian.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not very good at geography.
I'm just telling you what I am, you know.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Now, let me take you back a long, long time ago, actually, to 1939, when you were living in Polish Ukrainian?
That's correct.
Yes. You came from a very, very close family.
That's correct.
Yes. And in 1939, as we all know, Lillian, the war came along, and your family was completely split up.
Correct.
You were split up. In fact, you were with your sister Hannah, weren't you?
Correct.
In fact, the last time you saw your sister Hannah was way, way back in 1942, and that was in a prisoner of war camp, wasn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, I know you've been desperately trying to get in touch with Hannah, because you've written all these letters. In fact, I got a super letter from your daughter-in-law, Deborah, who wrote and told me all about you. Well, I must tell you, Dimitri, we set our team to an awful task, because if you can't find your sister, we had a terrible job on our hand.
Well, I tried it once before, but just no success, eh?
No success.
No.
But, well, we did, and we found your sister.
Very nice.
And she's right here in England. In fact, she lives in Preston.
Preston?
Yes, and I must tell you, she's got 2 lovely daughters now. Their names are Maria and Yara. And another thing, Dimitri, stand by, because after 46 years, we found her. We brought her here tonight with her daughter Maria. Come in, Hannah. Absolutely smashing reunion. Well, it's time now for a Cillagram, and I really enjoy doing the Cillagram. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love all of Surprise, Surprise. But with the Cillagram, I can pay a little tribute to someone who really deserves it, and this week is no exception. We can think of no one more deserving than Sister Genevieve, who is 80 years young. And after 60 years, she's still carrying on her work as a nun, visiting the sick in their homes and in hospital. Well, what a wonderful story of love and endurance she has to tell. Sister Genevieve was a kindergarten nurse in a poverty-stricken orphanage in Osaka in Japan. Now, the conditions were terrible for the children, However, with Sister Genevieve's care and kindness, she pulled them through. A new orphanage was built, and Sister Genevieve was put in charge. Well, we were so moved by the story that early one morning, we went up to Dumfries in Scotland, where she lives, to deliver this Cillagram. Sister Genevieve, surprise, surprise!
Oh. Oh, no. Where did you come from?
Well, I come from our house last night. Stayed in a lovely hotel. I'm here to surprise you.
I should think it is. Because I've often imitated you. Surprise, surprise!
You've imitated me. Oh, do that again. I like that.
I will not. Because I said, no, look what they're doing. I will not do it again.
Oh, Sister Genevieve, I've been told that you are an absolutely wonderful person.
My goodness, somebody's been telling whoppers.
No, they have. Now, you have been a nun for over 60 years, is that right?
I was 60 years a sister on the 20th of December.
Ah, well,
Yes.
that's absolutely wonderful. And for 20 years, you looked after all the children in an orphanage in Japan, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, I did.
But those lovely people who wrote and told me all about you, they said that you deserved a special Cillagram, and that's why I'm here today, Sister
Oh, how
Genevieve.
lovely. That's very nice. I'm very pleased.
Are you?
Yes.
And it's a lovely song we've chosen. It's called Happy Talk. Happy talking, talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about the moon floating in the sky, looking like a lily on a lake. Talk about a bird learning how to fly, making all the music he can make. Happy talking, talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about a star looking like a toy, peeking through the branches of a tree. Talk about the girl, talk about the boy, counting all the ripples on the sea. Happy talking, talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? If you don't talk happy and you never have a dream, then you'll never have a dream come true. And there's lovely Sister Genevieve in the audience. You remember this, sister? Yes, you ought to, because you made it for that day's filming. Thank you very much, sister, from all of us here. Thanks a lot. Well, now, for all of you who are wondering where our Bob Carolgees is, wonder no more, because our Bob has surprised Mark Cattle, a tool maker from Essex. Earlier on today, Mark came down for what he thought was an interview for being a participant in a quiz show. Was he in for a surprise?
Mark! Oh, Mark! Hello! Surprise, surprise. How are you, Mark? Morning.
Hello.
You think you're here to be interviewed as a contestant on a game show, don't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, you're not.
Oh, that was sneaky.
Surprise, surprise. You see, your wife, Joy, there, has told us that you're a bit of a fanatic about these customising cars and that, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Yes. You're all into it. It's your main
Yeah.
hobby, isn't it?
Well, I was sort of ending up doing one.
Yeah.
I'd like to, yeah.
Well, I've got a car. In fact, we've got a car we've got terrible trouble with, Mark. We need a lot of help with it. So, Come with me, we'll have a look at it.
Right. Okay.
And, Mark, your car should be round here somewhere. Oh, yes, there it is. Isn't that lovely? This is actually, that's called a Challenger, which is a sort of kit car based on the E-Type, which you might recognise from various bits of it. And we've put a lot of it together, but we need you to do the rest, you see, because this is because it's called the Challenger, we thought it'd be a nice challenge for you. You've got all the bits here, there's nuts and bolts. Where they go, I don't know, I'm hoping you do. The radiators over there, all the wheels, of course, and bits of the bodywork. Let's step through and the steering wheel. You reckon you'll soon find out? Well, you're a better man than me. That's it. There's a little bit of work to do on the engine and also the gearbox, because there's a bit of the gearbox down here. What these squiggly things are, again, I haven't got a clue. But there's a couple of shock absorbers or something there. Now, don't worry, because I've got something to help you here. Because I've got all the paperwork from the manufacturers, right? So study that a bit. You've also got your overalls there, so these because you don't want you getting dirty. You've got to put the hood on and all those sorts of bits. And you've also got a bit of food for you there, a bit of sustenance to keep you going. Okay, you've got exactly 6 hours to my reckoning. All right, Mark.
Oh,
Great.
right.
I'm going for something proper to eat. Okay, see ya. Bye.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Bob.
Yes, and our Mark Cattle has been at it very early this morning. We'll be back to see how he's getting on later on, but in the meantime, last week on Searchline, you may remember an appeal by Joseph Dutton of Blackpool. He was looking for a record he made in 1964 called Fool, Fool, Fool. Well, here's Joe now. Come in, Joe. Well, Joe, welcome to Surprise, Surprise.
It's great.
I must tell everybody, I know it's great, I must tell everybody out there, you made this record, you belong to a group called the Sunliners, ladies and gentlemen, and you made this record, oh, Fool, 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 1964, and you're desperate to find another copy, aren't you?
Yes.
And that's why you came onto Searchline. Well, I must tell you, we found one of the members of your group, yes, Leslie. Do you remember Leslie?
Les Lyons.
Les Lyons, yes.
yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not here tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, but because you see, he lives in Sweden.
Sweden?
He lives in Sweden now. He's gone up in the world.
He used to live in Bolton.
He lives in Poland. He's in Sweden now. But he's actually on the telephone right now. So I'm going to have a word with him. All right, Chuck?
Yeah.
And find out whether he's got a copy of this record or not. All right? All the way in Sweden, you've never... From Poteley File, is that
That's
Blackpool?
right, yeah, just outside that.
I know it well. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Les.
Yeah, this is Les here.
Hi, Les. Well, yes, well, I've got Joe Dutton here. Now, you must remember Joe. He was the lead singer with your group in the Sunliners, don't you?
Oh, of course I do.
All right, Les. Well, the burning question is, he is desperate for a copy of the record he made in 1964 called Fool, Fool, Fool. And, Les, please, 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 have you got a copy?
I'm sorry, Cilla. It disappeared many, many years ago.
It disappeared many... Well, 64 is not that long ago, Les.
No.
I mean, I've got a few
got
copies of anyone who had an art, you know. I wouldn't give them away.
There's more copies of that one.
Eh?
There was more copies of that one.
Just slightly, yes. Well, there's one very disappointed person sitting next to me. But at least we found you, Les. I'll tell you what, Chuck. I will get your number. Well, we've got your number. I'll give it to our Joe after the show. And you can have a natter with him then, all right? Talk about old times?
Smashing.
All right, Les. We're disappointed, but anyway, thanks for speaking to us.
Okay.
Ta-ra, then.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra, love. Joe, do not despair. That was Les in Sweden. He hasn't got a copy of the record. But we also found the other members. Yes. They're not in Sweden. They're right here now. Come in, the rest of the Sunliners. Say hello to Joe. Come in, lads. Look at this.
Oh,
Isn't that a nice surprise?
Oh, I'm crying, yeah. Oh, I love it.
I'm wondering, what have you got in your hands there, Chuck?
Oh.
A good friend of ours, Bill Thorpe from Blackpool, is a very big fan of yours.
Is he?
And he has made especially for you this rather special stick of Cilla rock.
It is a special stick of rock, isn't it?
It's a cracker.
Yeah, actually, it's got Cilla stamped right through it.
Really?
Yes. I feel like a side of bacon. Are you going to hold on to it, or shall I?
Please take it.
Oh, yes, thanks a lot. Oh, my gosh. It's heavy. It's lovely. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. But there's more important things to ask. Please, 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 have you got a copy of the only record that you made in 1964?
Unfortunately, Cilla, I sat on my only copy.
And I'm afraid I couldn't afford one at the time, so...
And you couldn't afford one? Ah, what a shame. Did you have more hair at the time?
Definitely.
And what happened to your copy?
Well, I've just lost mine.
You've lost yours. Well, don't give up. As I say, we never ever give up on Surprise, Surprise. I think the only other way out, really, Joe, is for you and the lads to re-record Fool, Fool, Fool. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen?
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. And there's no time like the present.
Now?
Yes.
I think I only know 2 verses.
You only know 2 verses.
Yeah, I
Don't
think you can
worry,
go through it.
don't worry. It'll all come flooding back. It will. Do I forget the words of anyone who had an art? Oh, yes, I do. I do. Mind you, there's only one problem here. The group is incomplete without Les Lines, isn't he? He's in Sweden.
Yes, he was the guitar player, yeah.
Oh, what, lead guitar?
Les, yeah.
Well, surprise, surprise. He's not in Sweden. He's right here. Come in, Les. Come on, Les.
How you doing? Oh, good to see you. Woo! Oh, God, I can't believe it.
See, Joe, you thought you were getting out of it. You made the excuse, oh, we can't do without the lead guitar. The whole group is here now. And if you're ready, willing and able, Joe.
I certainly am, yeah.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
That's your mark over there. The lads know the rest. Don't worry about a thing. I'm going to give you an introduction, and hopefully by that time, dry your eyes and sing out loud. All right,
Okay.
sing out loud and clear. I'll see you in a minute. Off you go, lads. I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the Sunliners, they have toured with PJ Proby. Do you remember him? Yes. Just about. He ripped his trousers, didn't he? They've also toured with the Rolling Stones. And when they did, they looked something like this. Ah, yes, how things have changed. But remember, you know, that was over 20 years ago. And they haven't been all together since 1965. But they are prepared, as you've just seen, to perform for us tonight. So here with Fool, Fool, Fool are the Sunliners.
First I bought my love a mockingbird, the sweetest voice that you have ever heard. But she said that mockingbird won't sing. If you love me, you'll buy a diamond ring. Fool, 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 everybody cried. Fool, 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 although it hurt my pride. Fool, 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 I loved her so I couldn't refuse her. I didn't want to lose her. So I bought my love a diamond ring, the brightest thing that anyone could bring. But she said that diamond ring don't shine. If you love me, you'll buy a car next time. Fool, 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 everybody cried. Fool, 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 although it hurt my pride. Fool, 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 I loved her so I couldn't refuse her. I didn't want to lose her. So I bought buy another one. Fool, 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 everybody cried. Fool, 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 oh, couldn't my pride. Fool, 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 I loved her so I couldn't refuse her. I didn't want to lose her.
The swinging 60s, eh? Oh, I wish I would have been around then. But now I want you to meet a man who wants to go back even further, would you believe? He wants to go back to the fabulous 50s. Because you see, I rang him in Glasgow on last week's show because his son-in-law Drew told us he was always talking about his teddy boy days when all the girls used to flock around him. Well, Drew says he's past it. But we're going to prove that he isn't. Come in, John. Come in, son. Come on, John McCormick. Well, John, you don't really look the part now as a teddy boy, do you, lad?
Not now, not at the moment, no.
No. And we've got a few minutes to get you all in the, the teddy boy gear, haven't we?
Yep, a few minutes. Yes.
And what about the hair? You're going to have your hair zhushed up?
Yeah, I'm going to do something with that. Change it a little bit, I think.
Change it a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Slight improvement.
What?
A slight improvement.
A slight improvement. Well, John, we're coming up to the break now. Now, do you think you'll make the quick change? You'll have to get, you'll have to get your creepers on, won't you?
Yep, get them on, yep.
And get you a little bit of a wee wig on? A wee wug? Aye. Get that stitched. We're going to take a break now, but we've got John after the break and lots more surprises. So, see you in a couple of minutes. See you then. Hello and welcome back. Well, this is going to be fun. Well, it will be for us. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax, because here we have, for one night only, that titillating teddy boy. It's Jiving John McCormick. Come on, John.
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rocks. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rocks. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around 10 o'clock tonight. Put the bed lights on. Join me, hun. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Watching him, I really am. Oh, but look, what is this I see before me? Look at that. That is absolutely wonderful. It's a shoe, but it is a shoe with a difference. It's a talking shoe because it's phone call time, and I'm going to use it to phone Vin Murray, who lives with his mum in Bow in East London. Now, Vin is 23, and his idol is Michael Jackson, and his sister Debbie wants us to arrange for Vin to do a Michael Jackson routine, and if he agrees, well, we'll do just that. So here it goes. What's his number? 7 digits, I believe. Here we go. I feel daft talking into a shoe. Oh, dear. I must tell you that at the moment, I know That Vin is in Debbie, his sister's house, or flat, I think.
Hello?
Hello, Debbie, is that you, Chuck?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Now, don't say anything. Is
No,
Vin there?
Yeah, I'm going to get him.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Chuck.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, Vin.
Yeah, who's this?
Well, that's nice, isn't it? Who's this?
Sorry.
Surprise, surprise, it's Cilla here.
It is.
Yes, it is. Oh, hey, Vin, lad, I don't usually have that effect on people, do I?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right, Chuck.
Okay.
Are you enjoying yourself round at your Debbie's tonight?
Yeah. Who sent my number in?
Pardon?
Who sent my sister's number in?
Who sent your sister's number in? I'll tell you. Your sister sent her sister's number in. Yes, because your Debbie wrote and told me all about you. She told me that your idol is Michael Jackson. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, tell us all about, why do you like Michael Jackson? What is it about him that really turns you on?
It could be his voice and his style, as in grace in movement.
Yes, because you dance as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
In fact, you've had your own troupe, haven't you, Chuck?
Yeah.
Now, do you only dance to Michael Jackson records? What other people do you like?
Stevie Wonder, I adore him.
Stevie Wonder. Oh, your Suspicions, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and all them. Oh, isn't that lovely? Yeah. Well, would you like to come and dance on our show, Vin?
Would I like to dance on your show? Which one is it? Because you have two.
I heard that. It's not a standing ovation. It's a sitting one. Yes, you're quite right, Vin. I nearly forgot. Yes, well, it's not blind date. You might have got a clue at the top when I said, surprise, surprise, it's Cilla here. So we want you to come on, surprise, surprise, and strut your stuff.
Okay, when's that?
Oh, God, you're so laid back, Vin, you really are. Well, we want you to come on next week. Will you do that? And dance to a Michael Jackson routine. Will you do that?
Okay, then.
And will you bring your Debbie?
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Oh, tar, Vin. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay, then.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Well, after Vin's surprise, we've got some more surprises for you. And that's with R. Gordon Burns and the Searchline.
Hello, and we start Searchline this week with something of a treat for all you car buffs. I wonder how many of you recognise this beautifully restored vintage motor. It is, in fact, a 1934 Alvis Charlesworth Speed 20. There were only 40 of them exactly like this ever made, and today there are just 5 in existence. The owner of this particular car has documents dating back to 1951, but he would dearly love to trace the history of the car right from its birth in 1934. It now looks exactly as it did when it left the factory back in 1934, though we do know that this car had its original body ripped off and something else put in place, though as you can see now it has been restored to its former glory. Its registration number is FP2739, so if any of you out there recognise it and can help us, will you please ring the Searchline, and I'll give you the number to ring very shortly. It's pretty cold and damp out there. It's great to be back in the comfort of the studio, and we have a request from Ken Russell, not the movie director, but Ken Russell, who in 1952 took part in and won the Daily Express Tour of Britain's 16-day cycle race.
Into the outskirts of London, and Ken Russell, number 78, has a spot of trouble with the traffic. He's clocked the best overall time so far. But at the finish, victory on the last stage of the 14-lap race goes to Scales, number 24, though it's Ken Russell who flashes across the line to win the most coveted title of them all, King of the Road for 1952.
Well, that historic win was all the more remarkable as Ken didn't cycle with a team, but competed as an individual. But it has to be said he would never have made the finishing line had it not been for some help along the way. During the 10th stage of the race from Edinburgh to Newcastle, Ken severely strained one of his knee joints. He was forced to stop and seek treatment. As his wife was searching for a physiotherapist, a young man appeared out of the blue, declared that he was a physio, and immediately set to work on Ken's knee. Very quickly, Ken was back in the saddle and actually won the 11th stage by over 5 minutes. The knee held out, enabling him to go on and win the whole race. Now, 36 years later, Ken is still anxious to thank the man who made that victory possible. Now, all Ken knows is that his Good Samaritan came from Glasgow and attended Newcastle University at the time, the 1st of September, 1952. So if that gentleman is watching, please give us a ring and we'll reunite you with Ken Russell. And now, to bring the first part of Searchline to a close, here's a personal appeal, and it comes from Tracy Tiernan.
My name's Tracy Tiernan. I'm making this request on behalf of my gran. We've recently just come back from Australia and I've got together with all my relatives again, except there's one person missing and that's my Uncle Owen Tierney. We'd like him to contact the Searchline, or if anyone's listening and knows Uncle Owen, please contact us, because we'd like to get them all back together again.
Well, if you can help Tracy to find her uncle, or indeed if you can help us with any of these items on Searchline, the number to call is 01 222 8000. And as always, our researchers will be answering the phones until 10 o'clock tonight. Right, well, that's it for the moment, but I'll be back later on in the show with some more from Searchline. Right now, we go back to Cilla.
Thanks a lot, Gordon. Now it's time to go back to see how Mark Cattle is getting on with his E-Type Jag. Time speeds on. Will he make the deadline? Will he? Let's go and find out. Is our Bob there with Mark? Are you there, Chuck?
Yes, we're actually... This is now the battle of... the challenge of the challenger. This wonderful car. And he's beavering away at the moment on the steering wheel. I know that much. I know that was a steering wheel. And all sorts of clips. We've got the seats in, and he's got the boot on, and the doors. Some of the doors are on, and a couple of the wheels. But he has been working... he's been working his little socks off here. And he's actually going a lot better since I stopped helping him, because a short while ago, I actually... started to help him a little bit. I don't think he was too pleased in the end, but, you know, I'm not very technical. How's it going there, Mark? It's very quiet.
Yeah, all right.
I'll give you a hand if you like.
Yeah.
Only dirty. Squidger. Grease gun. I'll do a bit of greasing here. Oi!
Thanks, Bob.
Sorry, Mark. Thought it was a nipple. Well, he's got lots to do down here, sir. I'm not sure if he's going to get it actually ready in time, because there's all sorts of wires and bits, and he's got other wheels to put on, and... do you think you're going to do it, Mark?
I think it's going to be pretty close.
Well, I know you're very busy there, and you're not really interested in talking to us, are you, Mark? So I'll leave you to get on with it, because you've got a deadline to meet. We want you to finish that car before the end of the show. So we'll leave you to it, and we'll call back later. All right, Mark?
Yep, okay.
See you later, Bob.
Right, all right, sir. What about those bits?
All looks like double Dutch to me. We're going to have to wait until after the break before we can get some more news. But please don't go away, because we've got lots more surprises for you. So, see you then. See you in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome back. Well, our next surprise is for Jean Fuller of Tilbury in Essex. Now, her husband Paul wrote to us telling us that Jean is crazy about American football. Paul plays for the City of London Stags, and Jean is their most ardent supporter, but she doesn't half give him an hard time. She tells him off when he loses, and sometimes when they even win. Well, we thought it was about time Jean practiced what she preached. So we staged a friendly match between Paul's team, the Stags, and the Ravens, a team that are so red hot they haven't been beaten in ages. And really, to be quite frank, the Stags do not stand a chance. What's our surprise? Well, it's this. We decided to substitute Jean for Paul, just to see if she could break down the Ravens' defences. Well, they're only men after all, aren't they?
Around here somewhere. This could be Jean. Now, Jean Fuller. Morning. Surprise, surprise. How are you? Can I squeeze in between you there? Hello, Jean.
Swine.
Yes, your husband. He actually wrote and told us that you're very, very keen on this American football thing. Is that right, Jean?
Yes.
Yeah. He's also told me that when he has a bad game, if he plays badly, you don't have to give him some stick, and you tell him you could do better.
Oh, God.
Don't you? Well, we're going to give you your chance to do that today, Jean. Because what we thought would be lovely today is that is that you take Paul's place in the Stags team. So you're going to play on his behalf against these nasty Ravens who always beat you. All right, Jean, come with me. Say bye-bye to Mum-in-law. Ready? Go! 1, 2, 4, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20.
All right, doing groin stretches. Legs apart, keep an eye on Paul. First, we're going over. Heads down. Now going to the left and to the right. And down. One slow motion. One slow motion. Easy. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. I wonder why you got your hand on the ground. That's it. Rear leg straight. Rear leg straight. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Up.
So it's the Ravens versus the Stags, with Gene Fuller, number 51, coming in as a rookie. The Ravens look mean, but Gene looks quietly confident. Here we go. It's a low kick. The Stags 46 receives. Boom! He's tackled by the Ravens 86, the Freezer. He's called the Freezer because he's like the fridge, only cooler. Into the huddle.
Ready? Ready. We've got I formation, tail back, sweep left on 1. I formation, tail back, sweep left on 1.
Now, will Gene get this play?
Hey!
First and 10 for the Stags. Bob gets it. And bottoms out.
R is for Raven, A is for ace, V is for victory in this place, E is for ace.
Second and 10. It's a handoff to 46. He's got an open field. 20, 10, touchdown. Stags 6, Ravens 0. Bob looks lovely as a cheerleader.
Mad Dog, Hombre.
Ravens in the huddle. Look mean and nasty. Right. Ravens first and 10 at the 40. Handoff to 33. He's got a touchdown. Ravens 6, Stags 6.
Little bird, number 14. Big line. 10 yards. First down.
Cute referee. Now the Stags must get back in. First and 10 from the 42. Will they use Gene? Bob's got the ball. He throws a long bomb to Gene. Gene's got it. 20 yards to go. 15 yards. Great move there, Gene. Another one. She's gonna make a touchdown. Gene Fuller scores a touchdown. Stags 12, Ravens 6, and Gene Fuller is the most valuable player.
That was really good. And I'd love to say a very big thank you to little Nicky Horn for doing a super commentary there. But I must tell you, Gene, I was ever so jealous of your shoulder pads. They were much bigger than mine. They really were. But you did a good job. And actually, talking about shoulder pads, it's time to go back to Gordon with the searchline.
And we start our second session of Searchline with another of our personal appeals.
Hello, my name's Jill Selby. And I'm Jill Tomlinson. About April last year, me and my friend Jill went to have our photos taken at Durham bus station in a photo booth. We waited and waited for the photographs to come out, but they didn't, so we got on the bus. And suddenly we saw the photographs pop out. As you can see, the photos are not ours, so if anybody out there recognises these people, or you recognise yourself, could you please phone Searchline and you can have your photographs back.
If you want them, why do passport photos always look like that? Well, Guy Erbo has written to us from Knokke-Heist in Belgium and described an incident that took place on the 8th of January 1943. Guy Erbo's father, a gendarme, was on duty patrolling the bridge over the canal at Terdonk when he saw a plane crash land in a nearby field. Later that same night, a wounded man staggered towards Gendarme Erbo. As he drew closer, it was apparent that he was an injured flyer from the RAF. Herbeau realized instantly that he couldn't risk taking him to the gendarmerie, so he helped the Englishman to his house, contacted members of the resistance, and secured the services of a safe doctor. But as Herbeau's wife was attempting to make the man more comfortable, there was a loud banging on the door, and 3 German policemen crashed in. They seized the Englishman, but as he was dragged away, he managed to thrust what little money he had into the hands of Guy's mother, saying, "You'll have more need of this than me." That captured airman's name was Peter Stevenson, and he was with Guy Herbeau's family long enough to tell them that at the time he was 21 and that he lived in Bournemouth. And to this day, no one in Guy Herbeau's family knows if Peter Stevenson made it back to England. So, does anyone out there know him, or can anyone give us a clue as to his whereabouts? If so, please contact the Searchline. Now, on the 17th of February, later this year, Edward and Mary McHugh will be celebrating their golden wedding anniversary. Despite their advanced years, they're both still very active, ballroom and disco dancing and running for charity. To help their celebrations go with a swing, Edward and Mary are keen to contact any members of the military police training squad that were at Mitchett, Ashvale, Surrey in 1935. Do any of you recognize yourselves in this picture? The McHughs hope so, and that you will get in touch with Searchline. And I'm sure you'd all like to join me in wishing Edward and Mary the warmest congratulations on their golden wedding anniversary on the 17th. Well, now for our quickie section. Tonight we would like the following people to get in touch with the Searchline. Audrey Gillespie, who was Marjorie Cook's bridesmaid on the 19th of March 1955. Francis Spicer, last heard of in Selly Oak, Birmingham, 15 years ago. Thomas Charles Hughes and Owen Humphrey Hughes, last known to be living in Staines, Middlesex. And Jean Judd, last seen in November 1960 when she was living in Orpington, Kent. Our researchers will be answering your calls about tonight's items until 10 o'clock tonight on 01 222 8000. But if you have a request, an item you'd like to see on the Searchline, don't ring us, write to us about that. We want it in writing. Write to us at Searchline, Surprise Surprise, London Weekend Television, London, SE 99 6YW. That's the lot from Searchline for this week. I'll see you again next Sunday. Back now to Cilla.
You will indeed see us again next week, Gordon. All right, Chuck?
I will be here.
I shall look forward to it. Now, after Searchline, it's going to be Deadline. Let's go back and see if Bob and Mark have finished the jag yet. How are we doing down there, Bob?
What about that bit? Well, it's all together, Cilla, but it's sort of misfiring. It won't. I don't know, but all I know is that it's not running yet.
Mark, you tell us about it. What is it that's misfiring down there? What can't you get together?
Is it your dizzy?
Yeah,
I know there's a thing called a dizzy on it.
It don't seem to be wired up right.
Oh, dear.
Pump, 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 pump. It's going like that, Cilla.
Well, it sounds like my little car first thing in the morning. Is it cold?
Well, it's obviously cold. It's been studied all day.
Mark, you have got a deadline to meet. Do you think you'll do it before the end of the show?
Well, don't know.
Do you want a hammer? I've got a hammer here.
It's not quite connecting, is it? And, Bob, you don't really know anything about cars, do you?
Well, no.
I know, and you're looking very embarrassed there. And we won't embarrass you any longer.
It's such a disappointment because he's been working so hard on this.
Yes, I can tell.
They're a fabulous car, the Challenger, but there you go.
I know, I'm just an intrusion. I'm going to leave you there to get on, and if you do have any good news, Bob, promise, will you phone the studios and tell me, please?
Yes, I'm sure he'll do it. It's just time, Cilla.
Well, I hope so. We'll say a little prayer, all right, Mark?
Yeah.
He's not interested. See you later, Mark. See you later, Bob.
All right, Cilla.
All the best. Well, earlier in the show, I told you something of the story of Sister Genevieve, who, as you know, is sitting here in our audience. But, you know, I didn't tell you all of it. Sister Genevieve, please, will you, sister, come down and join me. Come on, Sister Genevieve.
Thrilled.
So am I.
Lovely.
Sit down. Have you enjoyed the show?
18 minutes.
And we did enjoy our day up there in Scotland, didn't
Yes,
we?
it was lovely. The next day was dreadful.
Oh, was it? The sunshine went away when we went.
Oh, it was wind and rain galore.
Oh, well, you brought the sunshine to our studios. And as I was saying, it really is true. I didn't really tell the full story about your days in Japan all those years ago, because it was quite terrifying when you were there, especially for the children, wasn't it?
It was dreadful.
Yes. And it was your guardian angel came along in the guise,
right,
because you tell me all day about Sergeant O'Reilly, didn't you?
Yes.
And you've actually written, was it a poem? I can't remember that day. Was it a poem or a song you were telling me you taught?
No, it was just, it was a little goodbye to O'Reilly, and it was only 4 lines.
Was it?
But 2 lines were the same and 2 lines were the same.
Oh,
so it wasn't much at all.
Well, you sang it for me that day up in Scotland. It wasn't on film, but we had a lot to chat about. Just I was so knocked out by the way you did. You wouldn't do it again for us here now, would you?
Well, just let me tell everybody I can't sing.
Oh, yes, you can. Yes.
Well, I can make a noise.
Go on, sister,
But
you do it for us.
I have no tune, really. But if you want it, I'll sing it. But excuse the voice, that's all. This was Sergeant O'Reilly, who really did so much for our orphans, built an orphanage. I can't tell you all that he did. And in a little thanksgiving and goodbye, I just made a few little lines for him. I'm going to sing it now, be careful. God love you and bless you, O'Reilly son. Oh, list to the orphans' cry. God love you and bless you, O'Reilly son. O'Reilly son, banzai, banzai. Yes. That's all.
Genevieve, your Sergeant O'Reilly was very important because he actually came to that orphanage in all those terrible conditions. And in fact,
every day
he helped to raise 1 million yen, did he not?
Yes, by the end of March.
By the end of March?
He came in December.
What year was that?
1949.
1949.
Yes.
And you got your new orphanage.
Yes, and he brought the money on New Year's Day. The very first contribution he brought on New Year's Day. And I said, oh, Sergeant, if you're only back in Scotland, a dark-haired man coming in this morning would bring us good luck for the rest of the year. And he said, I think I brought it, sister. And he said, hold your hands out, and I did. And he put yen and dollars that he had collected from his men. I thanked him quickly, but I ran over to our chapel, opened the door, and there's a little Scottish saying, and I said, oh, dear God, just look what I got for Menerde. That's my New Year's gift. And that Scottish Menerde does really mean something.
Oh, yes.
So that was the beginning.
I know it was the beginning. In fact, Hollywood was so moved by this story, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, that they actually made a film. And you have a part in the film.
Yes.
And Sergeant O'Reilly was played by the great actor Aldo Ray.
That's right. Yes.
Well, surprise, surprise, we've got a little clip from that film, sister.
Have you managed it?
Yeah, oh, have a look over here.
You mean to tell me this is an orphanage?
Yes. Would you like to see it?
Well, all right.
Be careful, children. You better get down. Father Yoshida. Also cut it, isn't it? We were afraid he would miss us dinner. This is Sister Genevieve, Sister Columba.
Sister?
You. That's
me.
you,
Yes,
look.
that's me there.
That is actually Sister Genevieve there. And you're playing Sister Columbia.
Yes.
And that film was called The Gentle Sergeant.
Yes.
Well, Sergeant O'Reilly, as you may or may not know, he now lives in Hawaii. He's been retired for over 20 years.
Yes, that's right.
But Sister Genevieve, he's not there tonight. He's flown nearly 10,000 miles just to be with you. Here is your gentle sergeant.
Oh, no.
Hugh O'Reilly. Come in, Hugh.
more the world is changing, the more it stays the same. Life is full of small surprises. It's a never-ending game. If nothing is impossible, will you believe your eyes? If the unexpected brings a smile, that's a big surprise, surprise, surprise. The unexpected hits you between the eyes. The unpredictable, that's the surprise, you see. Surprise, surprise.
Well, it's goodbye time again for this week. And I'd like to say a very big thank you to all those who've been on the show, especially our Bob Cowgies and Gordon Burns. Oh, yes, and I've just been given the nod. Mark Cattle is about to finish his car. He's done it. See you next week.